Resurgence, Call of Duty Warzone is here. We've dropped in Hisoka first place.
Already, we have Skullface on top of Lost, and this might be just a very, very quick early elimination. And yeah, well, when you got a level 5 Superior in hand right off the rip, you're going to be able to do some damage.
Yeah, I think, Dan, a fun conversation point, especially with the litmus test that is today, is how fast can you get loot, how fast can you get your loadout, and then how fast can you find eliminations. It is obvious Skullface is one of the top individual solo players. We talk about that player all the time, but a lot of these players are going to go all out to try to get early kills, just like Levi here. Catches the player unaware, gets the first blood.
Having an AMR, you're able to do that, but JTech not too far away either. We knew that this was going to kick off spicy, and that is exactly what is happening. Everybody looking to get into those early engagements, make it on happen. You mentioned how fast can you get your loadout and start moving. Let's remind everybody, we have these loadout crates on the map. You'll be able to hit those. You're just immediately grabbing those loadout guns, and if any of these players find them, they're going to be looking to get active.
Yeah, Skull already on 2 here is a huge win, especially on the outskirts of this map. Here on the far side of Docks, getting shot at from several angles, but does have a play. Ooh. Has a self-res, should be fine maybe here in the water if he doesn't get caught.
Not.
Yeah, it's my bad. 4NJs cleans him up. Now, quick reminder at home, Dan, break me down how Solos works in Resurgence if you haven't played it before.
Sure, if you haven't dropped into Solos Resurgence, you do still have that Resurgence timer, right? But if you do get taken out, you will be able to come back on in, and you have a little bit of a timer until that Resurgence can come back on in. So you can't just get taken out and fly back in on the map and start just trying to keep it going. You do have to kind of play your life a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. You have a timer once you fly back in. Once that timer is up, that means you then have Resurgence active again. So it's a fun kind of different aspect to Solos. If you've been playing a lot of trios or quads at home, I know a lot of people are fans of Resurgence, specifically Rebirth Island. I love that this map is back, and we get to have a chance to have an incredible tournament on it. But several kills flying through. You can look at the kill feed on the left-hand side. This is our amazing podcaster, by the way. The first time we've ever seen it on Rebirth Island. She's so beautiful.
It's absolutely. It's my first time even being able to use it at all, so I am super excited. We get to see all these players who are about to go into engagements, like right now, where Rodrigo was trying to play on top of Bio, but Tommy is laying in wait. Gets a nice little couple shots in, kind of force him to go off as he just kind of maybe waits to play some of these staircases, tries to take the engagement from a different angle.
All kills all day, baby. We've got 40 out of 42 individual players still left in this lobby, so it looks like most players pretty comfortable with the opportunity to come back into the game. That's Resurgence. That's how it's played. 2 players were eliminated quickly after they respawned, which means they cannot get back onto this map. Now, Hisoka, we asked him, was he going to be the top slayer on his team in the individual? Well, here's his first kill on your screen. Nice and easy. Up the zip we go, and down goes a player. He said, no, it's not going to be me. It's going to be Shifty, or it's going to be Biffle, likely Biffle. He's the IGL, but he certainly can slay. If I remember correctly, I think he was a top slayer in the last competition I cast.
Correct, yeah. He was definitely top of the leaderboard when it came to. He's a very humble player, right? Like, yeah, I'm just the IGL, man. I don't have to be able to be a top slayer. It's A-okay. But as we go across the map over towards Tents, we do see Huskers get taken out. And not only is he taken out, that's a full squad wipe.
Yeah, if you see squad wipe, I believe that means they are like out of here. So Huskers' first game, I believe that's 0 for the man, and it looks like he went out maybe 3rd overall on the map. Now, got another map to go inside of this group competition. This is Group A versus Group B. We'll play 2 games here, and then Group A will play Group C. So we're just going to get everybody playing each other. Going to see all the different fights that can happen, which players tend to land in certain areas and fight other players. I think at this point, though, it's kind of just a mad dash around the map, find kills without dying. It's kind of the nature of the game in Call of Duty.
Yeah, map number 1, all about just trying to get your feet wet on this map. You can see Aiden trying to be able to take the advantage to Limax, but Limax kind of goes away, finds another one. Aiden hot on the heels, though. Not going to let him have that much success for that long. Limax, you're getting put back into the Resurgence timer. Aiden looking to hold down the Tents area and make some moves.
Yeah, I think a key note here in Solos, 3rd party, 4th party, 5th party. I mean, go find 2 people that are fighting and take down a weak opponent. That is the key to the game. You can see one about to fall here. No problem for Hard Traps on 4, by the way. Pretty early in this game. Pretty impressive as we take a quick look at the map. Very centrally located. Big question will be, where does the icy real quick?
I love that you bring up the zone because, when we're playing big map, yeah, you're trying to read where the zone's pulling and stuff. Rebirth, you're kind of just going with the flow, baby. There's really no way to kind of tell where that zone is going to pull. It's going to pull far left. It's going to pull far right. You have to just be able to think on your feet and adapt.
Yeah, speaking of thinking on your feet, I think a lot of these players had loadout weapons, maybe died, then came back because of the Resurgence timer, and maybe couldn't land on their loot because it was a little too sketchy. But I was going to ask, Dan, I really do think snipers are going to have a play here, whether it's the Kar 98, maybe it's a Morris, maybe it's a different sniper, the Cat, for instance, especially in solos where they can one-shot, headshot. I mean, these could be an incredible value add. I know some of these players, 4NJ's talked about it, so this makes sense. Take high ground, shoot the ducks out of the air. I mean, come on, why not? Let's get some free kills.
Yeah, that's something we've seen a lot in the past Resurgence tournaments, right? Is these players who are able to kind of hold height, and you're just taking down people coming off of Resurgence. It's free eliminations. I know we did just have that touch-up to the car right before the Esports World Cup, but realistically, you just have to hit your shots with it now, and that's all that really matters. And we have the best of the best players here. It's going to not be a good challenge. But oh my God!
Wait a minute. We're just yapping. I look down. Is that 10 Z-Smith on 10?
Double digit.
10 kills already, making 11, no problem at all. Z-Smith said, hey, Coach, I was looking for an interview from you, and you didn't get me during media day. What's going on? I was like, hey, just go win your games. Go win your ones, and don't worry, we'll talk more later. Apparently, that's going to be the case. My goodness, 11 in the first map with still 30 players alive.
Here's the thing, though. Are we surprised to see a young gun like Smitty on 11 right now? He kind of made his way onto the scene, being known as just this high kill slayer. And I know he's just making Rebirth his playground at this point.
See Biffle making a nice play around. Look local here in Saudi. Biffle representing the Falcons. Unfortunately, guess what? Third party, and that's the nature of the game in these solo seeding rounds, folks. You're fighting your teammates.
You never have to clean it on up. That's just free eliminations.
I love to see it. Frankly, that's the nature of the game. You're looking for third parties. Now, Z-Smith could have the biggest map of the day here in the very first one. Puts him in a blender, takes down Hardtrevs, using the smoke as visual cover, and then outplays his opponent by sliding in using the Superi. And frankly, another opponent's at close range. It won't be as strong at range, so watch out for that, especially as we get into team play.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the question, right? With that kind of balance patch that did come in, were we going to still see everybody using the Superi? And it seems like a lot of players still opting for it. Obviously, for Z-Smith, it's working pretty solid so far. It's looking great. I love what he did here, though. He saw Hardtrevs kind of come back in. This is something you and I talked about. Are there going to be players that would just basically farm some of these players coming back on in? Z-Smith's obviously feeling good. He wins that first gunfight against Hardtrevs, says, hey, let's go, round 2, bring it to me. I'm just going to farm you all day, baby. Give me the points.
Well, I think that's the key, especially in Warzone, just really at any level, any map, as it looks like Tommy might be about to fight Almond as well. Wiz gets another angle. Tom says, well, okay, I can't quite clean this up unless I full send. I think this is the key, bro. Z-Smith, I mean, I don't want to hang out on him the entire time, but 14 kills in the first map on almost 5 kills
on land, and they wanted to shoot their gun, and that is what is happening. I love that he's been able to make this play at Harbor. Has felt like, hey, I've sufficiently played this area. Let me come back up here towards Factory, kind of clear the sun out. If he can kind of make it back up towards that Grandma's area, that is a...
They talked about it. It is hyper-aggressive, crazy action early, but when Resurgence falls, the entire map gets quiet just for a couple moments unless you have an angle. Wiz has taken the ultimate high ground. The problem is a lot of people can look up and shoot you at the same time.
It's like we saw him get taken out by Tommy, I believe, and has now made his way to the top of the tower simply with a pistol. So the fifth 1.4. So even though you maybe might not be able to get much eliminations now, you can still kind of rack up some of those points if you make it deep into the lobby.
Yeah, if you haven't watched a lot of Warzone competition, that is the key. Kills are everything. Placement helps, all right? It's a kill multiplier for what place you earn. So top 5 is what you're looking for in this competition. That is that 1.7x multiplier. If you do win the map, though, it is a 2 times multiplier on the number of kills you have. So if you're looking at Z-Smith, if he doesn't get a single kill left in the game and he gets first place, that would be 28 points in the first map on Rebirth Island. That is a ridiculous stat already, and I can only imagine if he's going to win, he's got to get at least one more. And I have a feeling, Dan, he might get a couple more.
Yeah, I think he's going to play really smart. That's one of my favorite parts of Z-Smith particularly. You know, he's this hyper-aggro player. Eliminated.
Still a fantastic map for Z-Smith. I think there's a chance Z-Smith actually still might be at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I mean, he secured, I believe, inside 15th place. It looks like 12 all earned the 1.4x, and you can increase that at 1.7 as we get higher. But holding the edge of zone, Mojo here to prove something. Maybe enact a bit of revenge on his Middle Eastern brothers. Something out of the lighthouse. We are down to the final 5. We've got a 1.7x multiplier, and it only gets better if you win it all. Jukis cleans one up on the far left, right-hand side. One more goes down. AJ out of here. Jukis cleans up 2, and we're down to the final 3, Dan.
Final 3 trying to play from around here. Loadouts are creating it. Maybe where did Z-Dart go? But he's looking behind him. Jukis might be coming in from around here. Can he be able to take this on down? Mojo using this heartbeat monitor to make sure that he can have the information he needs to maybe make a play. You're hearing some shots come out as he tries to go through the rotation. They know Z-Dark's in here.
Mojo looking for an angle off on the right-hand side. Z-Dark and Juki's trying not to get too aggressive here. They don't want to throw away their lives. Not too early. Z-Dark finds Mojo. It's going to open up an opportunity for Juki's in the zone. Can Z-Dark cut one down? Can he grab a second place? Then makes
Made their way out into the gas, and it's a double down. Juki's, he just has to wait here. Can he be able to catch Mo? Doesn't matter, though. Juki's takes the chow. He's a favorite on land, and taking
first map that is a 2x multiplier. Looks like about 14 to 16 points. Not too shabby, but it is worth mentioning, Dan. Z-Smith had 14 kills, let alone with the multiplier. Now,